What's up, guys? My name's Julie. This is the Curated Curvy. Let me put my leg down. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. On this channel, we journey through me creating the curated wardrobe of my dreams with these two hands. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Nice to see you again. Let's get into the video. Now, if you saw my last video, yes, I'm wearing the same thing. I did not want to change to give the illusion that this video was in fact recorded on two different times when they are literally recorded one after the other. So we're not going to do that. If you have tuned into my channel, if you've been tuned into my channel, then you know that for me, this is the year of the low buy sewing year. However, I may have fallen off the wagon. In all honesty, I don't think I fell off the wagon. These are all the purchases that I have made this year as a whole. So this is not 1 month, this is not 2 months, this is between January and now, which is just about May. So all in all, I haven't done too bad. I told myself that I would give myself 3 new fabric purchases per season, and it hasn't quite worked out that way. Some of these were bought in conjunction with another, some of these were bought on trips for mementos, but I'm going to keep them as is right now because I think just having an idea of like when and where and how much I should buy is keeping me in line with my purchases. So I've made 12 fabric purchases this year so far, and we're only in the 4th month of the year, so maybe not great. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so this fabric I picked up at a thrift store recently. It was bundled up. It was for $1.99. It looks to be about 3 yards, but it's only half of the 45 width. It is a really beautiful print. It is definitely more of like a vintage print. I have another dress that I've made out of the same brand. I think they're called Concord fabrics, that I also found at this thrift store quite a while ago. So that tells me that, I don't know, this brand was very popular in that area. Maybe it came from the same home, maybe it didn't, I don't know. But it's really, really beautiful. And I think it is, yeah, I'm pretty sure it is the same as this fabric, just in a different colorway. So I definitely have plans for the 2 of these. But before I talk about that, let me show you this one. Now, this is a brown fabric, that same pattern, just in a different colorway. Definitely more autumnal than this one. But I'm to the point now where I don't really care about dressing for seasons. I'm going to dress for how I feel in the moment. And so I'm definitely not going to wait until the fall to sew with this. This one was on a bolt, and on that bolt was 25 yards of fabric. I'm not exaggerating. I came home, I washed them, and I measured it out. 25 yards of fabric. I paid $7 for that bolt of fabric, which is just insane. That's probably one of my best in terms of price per yard. My best finds, like, literally ever. Like, that was quite insane. I've already promised 5 yards of this to another friend, and then I have plans for that. So for the remainder, I want to make another Eleanor dress, which is this dress behind me. Stay tuned for my sewn video if it hasn't come out already. Well, I'll give you all the details of that dress. That was meant to be a wearable mock-up. It is a wearable mock-up. So next I want to make the alterations to the pattern that I plan to make, and then I want to make another version, and I want to do it out of this fabric. I have more than enough to get the dress that I want. I still want it to be a short version of the dress. I don't want it to be a long version because we're in the spring summer months, and I really like the version that I made previously. And then I want to use this somehow. I want to incorporate the blue with the brown into the dress because I feel like that would just be really a cool pop. Like, maybe I'll use the blue for the ties, and then maybe instead of using elastic to create the frill on the sleeve, I'll sew on an extra frill and I'll use the blue for that. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I want to combine these 2 fabrics for that Eleanor dress. So I picked these up on the same day at the same time. This was my most recent fabric purchase. This was another thrift store find, and I think I found this like around February. There is a little thrift store not too far from me. I've never found fabric in there. Like, I found patterns 1 or 2 times, but literally never found fabric until this recent time. And I found this, and it is definitely cotton. It's so soft, like so soft and so beautiful, and the print and the colors and everything, it calls to like a more vintage style aesthetic. I think I have about 3 yards, 45 wide, but you can even see when I hold it in my hand compared to like this one, just like how it hangs and how it drapes. Like, it's such a soft, lightweight cotton. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with this, but whatever it is, I want it to be like a romantic style dress. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it was definitely a couple of bucks. I'm not a big spender spender when it comes to thrifted fabrics. So definitely a couple of bucks, I'm sure a good deal, but such a beautiful, beautiful, unique pattern. So I could not leave this one in the store when I saw it. This was an impulse buy. So a couple months back, maybe like March, or not that many months, last month, March, I went to Austin, Texas, and whenever I'm there, I go visit the Creative Reuse Center. And the last time I was there, I noticed that like they raised their prices for fabric, which, side note, is completely understandable. The world is doing weird things right now and everybody has to stay afloat. So I don't knock them for that, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit disappointed when I saw like how much more their fabrics were as opposed to the last couple of times I'd visited them. So I was a little bit sad to see that they had raised their prices so much, and also their selection was pretty slim. But because I was there, I felt like, oh, I have to leave with something. Like, I don't know why I got that thought in my head. And they had this knit bundle for $7. It is 3 yards. It's a brush poly. It is originally from Joann's. I've seen this in the store before, and I went ahead and I picked it up, and I was telling myself, oh, you'll find something to do with it. I don't know what I want to do with this. It's not really my style of fabric. I'm not very into like the tie-dye, like mixed colors blending into one color. That's not quite my vibe. What I'm thinking I'll do with it is, at the thrift store that I got this from, they had a little pajama set pattern. I have it hanging up right here in front of me. Let me grab it and show you. Okay, so yeah, at that thrift store, they had this pattern, which is just like a cute little knit pajama set pattern. It seems relatively simple, just like your simple elastic pants and top. And they were selling this for like $1. And so I bought it because it was $1. Which adds to my pattern purchases that I've made this year. I don't know if I'll get around to that in this video, but we'll see. So I went ahead and I purchased this pattern, and I think because like I'm not crazy over this, I love Joann's brush poly. I don't care what anyone says or how anyone feels. I love their brush poly. I love wearing it. All of my brush poly shirts that I've made from Joann's fabric, I wear a lot. So I'm really a fan of the fabric. I just don't like the print, but I think it would be cute as a little nightie set, and it's not something that I'm going to be going out and seen in because I don't wear pajamas in public. I think it would be a cute little set. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for that. But this was like, out of all the things that I've done, this low buy has enabled me to be a lot more thoughtful with my purchases. This one was not a thoughtful purchase. This is a I low-key regret this purchase, but I'm gonna make it work. Okay, next, we've seen all those like tie front quilted blouses, and I definitely want to try my hand at one. I recently made the poppy blouse by Thrills and Stitches. Again, tune into my video on Sunday of what I made recently so you can see it. A lot of these tie front tops that you're seeing on the internet are being done with like these embroidered tablecloths and whatnot, and I've been on the hunt for them, and I haven't quite found the one of my dreams yet, but I recently thrifted this one. So you can see it has the embroidery, it has the scallop edge. The embroidery kind of runs through the center of the tablecloth. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but it's still just really beautiful. I picked this up when I was at an estate sale kind of recently, and I have one of those tops in mind. However, because this is like a one and done fabric, like this is one of a kind, I don't have more, this is not yardage, I can't go buy more. I'm really going to take my time and test out a few of these styles of tops that I want to make with it before I actually cut into this. So this will sit in the stash a little bit longer until I fleshed out the pattern that I want to use for it, and then I'll go ahead and I'll turn it into something beautiful. Okay, next, while I was at the Creative Reuse in Austin recently, the same time I bought the fabric that I regret, they had this and the offcuts, and their offcuts are like usually like $1 per cut. So I went ahead and I grabbed it. They usually have these rolled up so you don't quite know what you're gonna get. Sometimes they're like cut really funkily, but you can see this one has like a weird cut here, like on the side, like somebody just cut out that little bit, and then you have about a yard of fabric. I am working on a cowl neck pattern design for a dress that I'm creating as a pattern, hopefully to release sometime later on this year. And in the process of doing that, I've wanted to try out pre-existing cowl neck patterns just to see like the construction methods of how they are going about putting these patterns together. And I have one from McCall's that I've tried once and I want to try it again. And it doesn't require a lot of fabric. I'm gonna do like a spaghetti strap cowl neck, and this is just enough fabric for this. It has just enough drape in it to like hold that cowl down look nicely, but it has a little bit more stiffness and body than like your drapey fabrics. Those drapey fabrics that are like super slinky and kind of cling to the body, not a fan of those. I want something with a little bit more body. This has that, so I went ahead and I picked this up with that project in mind. All right, this is a bed sheet, but I'm going to mention it because I bought it to use as fabric. The same thing with this one. I got this from the same estate sale as this one. Both of these were intended to be used as like wearable, like mock-up fabric for my sewing adventures. This one is a cotton polyester, and it just has like this flower print going through it. Really beautiful. I think it's like a queen size flat sheet. There's really not much there to it, quite thin. But like I said, I plan on using this when I want to mock up and try something. So I bought that with this in mind. I've already used this one, so I haven't gotten around to needing this one yet, but it is in my stash ready to go when I need it. So recently I went to Miami. Yeah, recently at the beginning of this month, I was in Miami for my sister's wedding, and while I was there, I decided to stop by Moods. Now, Mood fabric is like notoriously expensive, so I only got 2 cuts of fabric, and both cuts of fabric I am smitten by. So this is the first one, and it is like a textured cotton. It has like what looks to me striping through it, but the striping like puckers up in a kind of like seersucker way, and it's just this beautiful, beautiful, vibrant pattern. I got 2 yards of this, and when I bought it, I was thinking of making a jumpsuit. However, the jumpsuit pattern that I am working on, I don't think would lend itself well to like such a lightweight, like stiffer cotton. So now I don't know what I'm gonna make with this. So I don't know. I would be lying to you if I said I knew. If you have any ideas, let me know. I've made a dress out of this once. Not out of this, but the same fabric type in a different print. This dress right here was also from like that same fabric type and print, and I do like it, but I don't reach for it as much, and I think I know why, and I think it doesn't have anything to do with the fabric, but that alone makes me think twice about just turning this into any old dress pattern. So I really don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I need to think of something soon because I want to sew this. I don't want it to just be folded away and stashed in the stash until only heaven knows when. The next one that I got is this linen, and it is absolutely beautiful. It is 100% linen in this minty green with this white striping through it. It is just gorgeous. I am also currently working on a jumpsuit pattern that is going to be the first pattern that I release for my pattern brand. Right now I am in the process of grading that pattern and still testing it out and just making sure that I'm working through all of the fit issues before it goes out for like person testing. And once I get the pattern like to the point to where I feel like, okay, this fit is like the perfect fit, this is the fabric that I am going to use to mock it up in, because I feel like I know the jumpsuit was designed with linen in mind. It is meant to be something that is like drapey, still a little bit structural, but like floaty and breathable. So that is this fabric. I have 2 yards of it, which I believe will be enough for what I want. But yeah, I wish I would have gotten more, but this fabric was $25 a yard, so 2 yards was gonna be it for me. I wasn't going to, I mean, I've never spent that much money on a fabric before, so that's also why I'm waiting till I feel like I have gotten the jumpsuit in an absolute damn near perfect position before I cut into this. I have this one to show you. So when I was in Austin, Texas, there's also the cotton cupboard that I always stop by. I absolutely adore the owner and I love her store. So obviously I went, I checked it out, and I bought 2 fabrics from there. So the one fabric you've already seen in my like sewing a spring dress and a wedding dress and one weekend video. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it for you. That was the first fabric that I bought from there. The second fabric that I bought that day was this fun print. Like, this is so cute, it's so fun. I got 2 yards of this. This is also going to be a puffy sleeve tie front top. I'm leaning towards the poppy blouse, but there are some things that I need to work out in terms of fit with that pattern on me particularly, and so I don't know if I'm going to just try and go to the drawing board and draft my own using my bodice block, or if I'm going to modify the poppy. I also wanted to have puff sleeves. The poppy comes with a straight sleeve, similar to the white embroidered cotton, where I'm waiting until I have the pattern fleshed out before I cut into these beautiful cottons that I have. And the last one I have to show you, I got from Dallas Warehouse Fabric. So recently when I was making that dress for my sister, again in that sewing a wedding dress and a spring dress in one video, I had to go to the Dallas like fabric district or design district, whatever they call it, to get some fabric for that dress. while I was there, obviously I had to go through and have a little look-see at the other stores and see what they had. And Warehouse Fabrics has these $3 bins, so they're off cuts of fabrics or sample cuts of fabrics, and everything in the bin is $3. The only caveat is you have to buy the entire width of the fabric. I don't mind that. So in their bins, I found this super lightweight printed cotton. If you look like through the yardage, you can see like there are some points where there was like a glitch in the print, so the print kind of skews a little, but it's such like a small ditzy print that from afar you cannot see it, and unless you're looking for it, you probably will never notice it. Now originally I thought this was going to be an Eleanor dress until I purchased the pattern, and I saw that that pattern requires nearly 6 yards of fabric. I have 4 yards of fabric here, so it's definitely not going to be one of those. I still do see this as a dress. I haven't come to visualize the dress that it's going to be yet, since my original plans for this fell through. But it is super lightweight. This is going to be perfect for summer, and so it's one of those things I'm going to allow myself to keep mulling over, because it doesn't seem like we're anywhere near the summer temperatures yet. But once we get here, I'm going to dream of something as light and as floaty as this on my body. So I'm not going to rush into cutting this. I'm going to just kind of like bide my time and wait and see what I come up with. But that is it. Now, as I said, there are 12 fabrics here. I told myself originally that I would give myself about 3 fabric purchases per season. And we've only been through 2 seasons now. We came out of winter and we are into spring. So that would have been 6. So I am another 6 fabric purchases over what I allotted myself. But if I'm being honest, I'm very proud of myself. I do think that I know that I am sticking to the low buy. I'm not going out to peruse fabric shops. I'm not making drives to downtown every month. I'm not going to Joann's every time they have a pattern sale. I'm much more disciplined and thoughtful about what I am bringing into this room, which is a happy consequence. It's not the goal. Like, I'm not where I want to be and as disciplined as I want to be with my purchases, but I feel like I'm on the right track and I'm making good progress, and I'm proud of myself for that.